For the assignment today, we're going to work on a worksheet called Decimal, Binary, and Hexadecimal numbering system. So today, there's 3 types of numbers. This is a really easy lesson to do in class. It's going to be a little more difficult for me to do it for the virtual guys. So just bear with me, hang in there. If you have questions, we'll get them figured out. I'll also post a couple YouTube videos of someone else explaining it, so maybe they could do a little bit better job. But I'm going to do my best to show you how to do it. It's really not that hard. So basically there's 3 types of numbers: decimal, binary, and hexadecimal. And I've got a little digital whiteboard right here that I'm going to try to use. So I'll go back and forth. But basically a binary number, meaning 2 options. A binary number is made up of only zeros and ones. Okay, that's machine language. It's basically how computers, it's the lowest language, it's the language that computers can really understand. So the binary number is a system of a base 2 system because there's only 2 options. There's a 0 or a 1. For this reason, as we move left, every place number gets 2 times bigger. So this is the number line that we're talking about. And what's weird about these is this is kind of like your key right here. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and it could keep going depending on how many numbers you have. But it's kind of weird because if you have this binary number 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, what you want to do is you want to start with your key right underneath it, and you want to start with the number 1, and then when you go to the left, your key doubles every time. So it's basically it basically just keeps doubling. It's basically, and we'll talk more about this when we do the flippy do assignment next. But here's how this one works. The ones basically are turning the number below it on. The zeros in the binary number turn the number in it below it off, and the key off. So this one turns the 1 on. Okay, in the binary, this is 0, that one's off. This is a 0, that one doesn't get added. This is a 0, that one doesn't get added. This is a 1, so it turns this 16 on. This is a 0, turns the 32 off. This is a 1, turns the 64 on, and so forth. And you guys can see the ones that were turned on were 64, 16, and 1. So that's why they added 64 plus 16 plus 1. Your answer would be 81 on this one. Now you started you off with a little bit difficult one. Well, let's do number 1 together. And it is 1, 0, 1, 1. So I'm going to go to my white marker board and I'm going to put 1, 0, 1, 1. Forgive me if it's a little messy. But here's what you do. You take your key, and I'll start with 1. And I go to the far right one and I go underneath it, or you can go above it, doesn't matter. And then the next number to the left doubles. It becomes a 2. The next number doubles. Becomes a 4, the next number doubles, it becomes an 8. Okay, so now I want to go add up the ones who are turned on by having a 1 in the binary number. So I want to add the ones with a 1. So that would be this one, because there's a 1 here. I would add this one together because there's a 1 here. I wouldn't add this number because I wouldn't add the 4 because there's a 0, so that one doesn't count. So we'll mark that out. I will add this one because there's an 8. So 8 plus 2 plus 1, and we'll go back to our sheet, is 11. Okay, simple as that. So and I probably should have done this before too. So let me go ahead and let me write down for you guys. Let's see how to do this. Add a sticky note, and let me write down the 3 numbers you need to remember. So there's binary. Okay, there's decimal. And then there's hexadecimal. Okay, and basically those are 3 you got to remember. So we just went from binary, the 1s and 0s kind of number, and we took it to a decimal number. And the decimal is a base of 10 because there are 10 options. The 10 options are 0 through 9, which are 10 digits. So in a binary, it's a base of 2 because there's only 2 options, a 0 and a 1. Okay, and I'll go ahead and tell you the hexadecimal, there's a base of 16. So if you guys wanted to write those down next to those, you could. I guess I'll kind of put it in here. I don't know how well that's going to look, but anyways, this is a work in progress. Like I said, I can do this lesson a whole lot better on a whiteboard here in my room, but we're going to figure this out. Anyways, so we did number 1. Let's do number 2 together before I let you guys go on this one. Number 2 is 1010. I'm reading it left to right. 1010. When I put my key down, I want to start below it on the right, on the farmost right number, and I'm going to start with 1. Then my key doubles every time. 2. Then my key doubles again. 4 and 8. If I had more numbers than just these, this is called a 4-bit. If I had more numbers than this, then my numbers in my key would just keep doubling. If there's a 0 here, I'd put a 16. If there's a 1 up here, I'd put a 32, and it would just keep going, and it will pretty soon. But let's go ahead and figure out which ones we need to add and which ones we don't right here. So the 0, we won't add the 1. We won't add the 1 because this is a 0. So we're gonna, I just exit out right there, just no. This one's a 1, so it turns the 2 on. I'm gonna circle it. This is 0, so we're not adding the 4. This is a 1, so it turns the 8 on. An 8 plus a 2 is a 10, so my answer for number 2 is a 10. Okay? Alright, try to do the rest of these. I think you guys can figure these out. The number 3 is super easy. You can probably do it without even using your key. But you'll get a couple harder ones where, remember, your key just keeps doubling. You'll go down to 17. Once you guys finish 17, you don't have to do this just yet. Maybe wait until we finish this part, number 30, and then you guys can go up to this link right here, and you could try to do this little game. It's actually pretty fun. See what level you can get to. But for the next part, we're going to work on adding these binary numbers together, which is the exact same thing, except we're just adding 2 binary numbers together. And goes like this. 18 is 0001, so let me just write it on my marker board. It's 0001, and we're adding 0100. 0100. And excuse me for being messy, but all I have to do is the same thing here. I would put my key below it, 1, 2, 4, 8, and I'd start my key over on this one because it's a totally different binary number. You can tell by the adding symbol. Okay, 1, 2, 4, and 8. The zeros do not add anything together, so this number 0100 is 4. That's the only one that gets added. Okay, and then this one's super easy. The zeros don't add anything. The only thing is here is, and that equals 1. So 1 plus 4 is 5. So the answer to this first one right here would be 5. Okay, you guys can finish the rest of those. The next part, so let's review just real fast. Let me erase that. Let's see if I can get back to have my, well, anyways, I was going to go back and talk about that sticky note I had, but anyways, remember decimal or binary is 2, it's zeros and ones. It's a base of 2. Decimal is a base of 10 because it's the numbers 0 through 9. After 9, goes to 2 digits together. Hexadecimal is 16. So we just went from, and we converted numbers from binary to decimal. Let's go decimal back to binary. Okay, you'll be able to do all 3 before we're done. Convert the following numbers from decimal to binary. So if I had 18, what I'd want to do is I want to put my key at the top of my board now. So I'd go 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Just keep doubling. 32, 64, 128. Okay, and basically I've got my key up there, and this is messy. I know I could write it better than this, but anyways, it's 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and then it's 2 something after that. But anyways, on number 18, what I'd do is this. I would start on my number line, and I want to find, my number is 18 that I'm trying to figure out. So I'm trying to find out the binary number for 18. And the way I do that is I would just turn on and turn off some numbers. So I need to figure out what can I add together in this key to make it become 18. So I know the largest number under 18 is where you want to start with. So 16 is the largest number under 18. So I'm going to give it a 1. The next number, from 16 to get to 18, I need a 2. And the only other thing I do is draw zeros under the numbers that I did not use. So this one's easy. The binary number for 18 is 10010. Okay? So that's when I would come put 10010. Okay, let's do 63. This one's a little bit harder. Okay? And I'll keep my key up there. I'll just erase this binary number. Let me erase 18 because we're going to do a different number now. And let's do 63. So I'm going to write 63. So remember, the thing you got to start with, as my number is 63, I want to find the binary number for that. What I do is I start with the highest number under 63. And unfortunately 64 is right there, so we've got to go all the way down to 32. And I'm going to turn that on. Okay, 16. I'm going to turn that on because 32 and 16 is 48. And then 48 plus 8 is, gosh, make me do some math, 56. And then 60, and then 62, and then 61. So this one, we're not worried about what's to the left of these, but our binary number is 111111. That equals 63. 111111. And if you guys remember, let me check.